My name is Jeff Weeks and I'm with Z MRP, and this is part 3 of the working with the work order automation tool and the material planning module of Z MRP. Before we continue, we're going to run our calculator, material calculator again, and then we will go to our work order automation tool. Where we left off is we were working with the release work orders list, and we released everything in the work order list except for the 2 top level products, safety stock and the work order. So I'm going to move over to our, now there's 2 ways I can get to the work order create list. I can use this button down here, or I can just exit back out to the menu. And the work order automation, the work order close, work order screen works the same as the create and release list do. You have your filter, you can do a part number or a series of part numbers, description, due date, or a range of due dates, and limit list to this demand, which shows our demands. And I'm going to open up create work order close list, and here's all the work orders that we currently have in WIP that we are currently working on. And I'm just going to go through here. We have our part number, work order number, due date, quantity planned, quantity released. Now remember, back in the release list we had an opportunity to edit what we wanted to release. It appears in the close list because we want you to see what you planned on releasing and what you actually did release. We want to keep everything in your line of sight. Now, the work order release is different. Notice we defaulted everything to 0 because we need you to be very mindful to what you're about to create. Everything you create in this list, you're going to be adding to your inventory. So if you're not very mindful of what you're doing, you could be adding non-existent inventory to your inventory. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go down here and I can release as I want. I can go, well, this safety stock SA2 is the 2nd level, and 1229.19, so that's a default quantity. So I'll go ahead and create those. I've got them done, and I probably have a stack of travelers, or I got work orders or kit lists, or maybe I'm looking at my what to make report and it shows that these have been made. So if we have a work order 1, SA1, which is a 1st level, the work order 100, that's due on 8/13. Notice the due date, it is in conjunction or when we need that done for the next level to be built. So I think a lot of our customers do the releasing and they're creating of work orders and closing of work orders based from the due date more so than any other piece of information on these lists. So I'll release 100, and 730 we'll go ahead and release those, and we'll release some SA2s, which is 2nd level for a safety stock order, and then we will release the SA2 required on the 1st level of work order 100. 50 of those. Now notice it has select all and unselect all. Now you can select them, because if I run this right now, if I say close work orders, it will not close these work orders because this is not checked. This has to be checked and the quantity needs to be present. If you create a work order and you do not put in a quantity and you leave it as 0, you will create a work order for 0. It's a transaction of 0. Again, we do this intentionally because we need you to be very mindful of what you're doing. So once I make the changes to all my quantities, I can go back and select all. or I could save my records, or I could double check what I'm doing. And this is what I recommend. Just double check all of my work. Go down here. Yep, that looks good. That looks good. Line 3 looks good. Line 4 looks good. Line 5 looks good. Everything looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and close all my work orders. And an audit record appears. Notice my audit record is now a receipt. The transaction type is receipt because now we are receiving in all of this product onto our shelves. And some of this product will go right back into WIP for the next product. To the next workstation, they'll go into queue. And they disappear from my list. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to complete out. Let's say a day goes by. We built all of these up. Now it's time for us to add these to our next level, which is our top level. So I'm going to go back to our release work order list. And there they are. I'm going to go ahead and release both my top level products. I can print a kit list upon release, or I can export it out to an Excel spreadsheet. Check out my quantities. I want to do that, so I will release my work orders. And now I get an audit record for both of these. Now if I go to my work order close list, work order close list, there they are. So I'm going to do like what I did the last time. I'm going to put in 10, 50. To double check myself, I'm going to go over here to my select box. And yes, I want to release 10 for safety stock. You know, they're built, they're done. I just got my pick tickets back, and I want to go ahead and complete for my work order 100. So I go ahead and I'm going to close my work orders. And notice it says receipt. And this is a good opportunity as well. I can put in a lot number, a serial number. I could add a batch number. I can even put in a target location. I can say when we're done, I want this to go to level 1D, IDO, row IDO, bin IDOE, 1 DOE, dash row 1, level D, bin O0E, or however you want to read that. And I just want to move quantity of 10 of them. I'll receipt them in. Now they are complete and they are removed from my work order automation tool. Exit on my work order automation tool. Part number done. MRP is done. And we'll go to our work order automation tool and just check our lists. No records selected. Check data selection. So there is nothing on our list. If I go to release work orders, it shows me my list of nothing. If I go to my close work orders, it shows me a list of nothing. That cleans out my work order automation tool. Now in real life, you're probably going to have 100 to tens of thousands of work orders. And this gives everybody an opportunity to go by date selection, pull up your make report. You can go use your make report to determine what needs to be released. You can look at your forecasting, your capacity report as well for what needs released, or you could go by your due dates. There's many different ways, but you're going to choose your own process on how you best want to use it. If you do have any questions, or if you have any suggestions on how we may better this tool, please reach out to us. Our number is 1-800-617-18. It's 1-800-617-1684, or email us at info@e-z-mrp.com. Thank you. And that's the end of part 3 of the work order automation tool.